Yeah, sure it is. Just got off work a while ago. Was watching stand over there. I don't know. It looks like he's still out, so I don't know what to expect. Hey, Jack, what's going on, buddy? I don't expect much right off the beginning because I've been watching two stands over there, and they're still kicking it with Brian B and Epic and Sean and stuff. So, yeah, it looks like it. Outdoor Jack. I do kind of look at my stats and pay attention to them and stuff, but I don't be out there asking for it or looking for it. So, yeah, seems like I'm getting there. What's going on, Randall? Did you get your mail yet from me? I've been trying to remember to ask people who I mailed out stuff to. So I know Avid said he got his. Jeremy said he got his. Lance got his. Deadpool got his. But today was technically the day where everybody shouldn't gotten it because it said Thursday to Friday. But between putting in the fishing time, trying to put out a little bit of YouTube time, and working my butt off at work, sometimes I forget what happened. I'd also like to see James Kirkpatrick with the next few days, see if he got his. My son said we got mail from you, but I haven't been home. Okay, that's cool. That should be it then. Because I put Mike's Fishing Home on as my return address. And I actually did put my address on everybody's. That way, if they ever feel like sending, a thank you or whatever the hell, or just a letter to say how they're doing in their life, something like that, you guys actually have my address. So, hey, Fishing Trucker, what's in the house? Appreciate you. I know I just recently met you, and I appreciate you dropping in. Just chilling out down in the basement having a beer. I'm gonna have a few more throughout the night, but I'm doing the cheap beer tonight so that I don't be crazy. I think I'm getting too old to be chugging the locals and the Fireball and the vodka the way I have most of my life, so I'm gonna start settling down on that. Off the res in the house, appreciate that. I honestly didn't think anybody in here be in here. That's why I delayed it like another 15 minutes because I was watching two stands over there, so and they're still going, so I didn't expect anything, but I figure I might as well throw it up and see what happens tonight, as usual. But it's just too cold out back to do it outside right now. It's another 42-degree night. Figured I'd just come down here to the basement and chill out, which is technically a new thing. You guys were used to see them on that front porch and back porch when it was nice outside. Now you get the basement view. I gotta get me a new tripod though. That way I can actually kind of angle this around sometimes, maybe, and give you a full tour. Chilling. Yeah. This is one good thing about this basement is it is a fully finished basement. But I gotta tell you one thing about this couch I'm sitting on. It's hilarious. This little brown suede looking couch thing. Man, we got this thing like I'll say about 17 years ago from a rental place. We rented to own it, and it's still kicking. Hey, Jody. 44 there. Yeah, pretty much the same temperature then there, trucker. Where are you from? I'm in Illinois with the 42-degree weather. Michigan. All right. Oh, I suppose it's not colder then. A little bit further north than me. I'm literally smack dab in central Illinois, Springfield, Illinois, the state capital. Pretty much about. Yeah, I had it on the normal one that James sent me, but just because randomly all of a sudden, like I'm sitting there, I'm scrolling through whatever, I'm checking stuff out. I'm watching two stands, but I'm also in the background uh checking out my Facebook and this and that and Instagram or whatever, just just see if there's anything new going on. And bam. Oh, my Wi-Fi dropped. Anyways, all of a sudden, bam, I got a message from real time John with the thumbnail. It was funny as shit though, because I instantly recognized the picture that he snagged to make it, and I took a screenshot from one of my Instagram posts. I was like, it was this picture, wasn't it? Hey Rico, what's up, buddy? Rico 336 in the house. So, anyways, yeah, I recognize what picture he made it from, but it was just amazing that John Parker, especially with how he's, kind of getting headaches and getting worse with the eyesight and stuff, like took the time to make me one, just like James did. So it was just amazing to randomly see that. So I had to use it for tonight because it was the one that James made me. He made me two, one with the fire, one without, which I like. I like the way he did that because what I'll do is if I'm out back with the fire pit or if I'm out camping on the lake with the fire pit, I'm gonna use the one that has the fire. Hey, Big Matt, what's up? But if I'm chilling in the front yard, backyard, or basement without a fire, then I'll use that one. So that was kind of nice that he focused the fire in the middle and the beers and the fire off to the side. Makes a little sense to have two options. But man, just seriously, getting that random freaking thumbnail from John Parker, I had to go ahead and switch it out and use that one tonight. And that's actually a picture of me in one of my Instagram posts where I had the catfish and the pole up there. I recognized it instantly. So I had to shout them all on Facebook and show them appreciation for that. And then obviously I appreciate James for the ones that he gave me. Just anything I get like that from this community that just it blows my mind away, like randomly. Like I'm not out there asking for stuff, so if I get it, it just blows my mind away that somebody's gonna give me that appreciation to like say, hey, this is something I can do and this is for you. What a beautiful thing, the way this community looks out and uh like gives to each other. But yeah, what's his name? Oh, Outdoor Jack. Yeah, I kind of saw that today too. I noticed it was like at 196 or something like that. It's gone up and down actually. I was at 196 three different times today because I'd lose one and then I'd gain one, then I lose one and gain one. It cracks me up. YouTube is a funny thing. I don't care about it, but I pay attention to it. Thanks, Rico. It's John Parker. I came home from work. I was chit chatting. I was watching two stands, and all of a sudden I saw I had a notification, and boom, there was a John Parker thumbnail in my notification. So yeah, I threw that one up for tonight. And thank you, John Parker. If you come in and out or you don't, whatever. I've already shouted you out on the Facebook for the appreciation of it. And just it means a lot to me, man. That people who I just recently started knowing, hey James, and there's the other one. You guys know the James Kirkpatrick one I've been using for a little while. I had yours up again tonight, James, but then I got that random John Parker one, so I went ahead and edited the feed and threw the Parker one up just because. I mean, wow. a random John Parker message with the thumbnail. Had to do it. Have you gotten your swim baits yet, by the way? I've been asking everybody that I see if they got their package yet. Those swim baits was a good one to win, buddy, especially because I know you do some other fishing too. Avid did finally messenger me and say he got his too. I just want to make sure everybody got everything. Because I'm telling you, if y'all don't get it, send me a message. I'll make sure you do. Like, I'll buy another pack and send it if I have to. Especially being my first giveaway. I want to make sure that everybody got it. Yeah, James. Like, obviously, everybody, there's a lot. I mean, even Chunky shoots out James for, like, things he's done for him with that stuff. So, just to be coming home from work, all right, well, let me know if you do within the next day or two or whatever. But like I said, today is only Friday, and that's what the mail said. That little slip I got with the tracking numbers, it said expected Thursday and Friday. But it seems like a lot of them have already gotten it. So I just want to keep track and make sure that everybody gets it. But anyways, yeah, just coming home, chit chatting, looking around for a little bit, watching two stands over there with the pregame show stuff and Epics up there talking and whatever else. I'm having a good old time. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and schedule my live, just see what happens afterwards. If it starts slow and picks up later, whatever. But all of a sudden, I got that message and I saw I had a dang John Parker thumbnail. So I'm like, ooh, let me go ahead and edit my feed and throw that one up. just out of respect for the great work he does for everybody in the community. I still have yours, obviously, and I appreciate yours. Speaking of which, if you weren't here when I was first talking about yours, I love the way you did it two styles. Because you have one style where the fire pit is right here in the middle. And that's when I'll do the actual, like, hey, I'm having a fire pit night. And that's what that will symbolize. The fire pit in the middle of the thumbnail is when I'm probably going to be either at a campsite or in my backyard with the fire pit. The other one you have, the fire pit is off to the left, and then you got those two beers too. I like that one because I'll put that up when I'm not having a fire pit. To me, that was so cool how you did the two different ones because it makes sense. If I'm having a fire pit night, it should be the fire pit up in the middle. If I'm just chilling in the backyard or the basement or the whatever else, it's still shooting a breeze, but the fire pit icon wouldn't make sense because I'm not having a fire pit. So I like to play on that, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I mean, I was blown away. That was not expected. I'm just sitting there minding my business. All of a sudden, I seen a message, and I have a new thumbnail. So I have three now. I have two from Janice Kirkpatrick, and I have one from John. And I'm gonna take some time soon, pretty soon here. I'm just gonna take like a day or two to myself and not do anything. I don't know if it'll be my days off work or maybe late nights after work where I might normally come up and do this. I'm gonna get on that old desktop, dust off some equipment, and try to make a few like overlays for the chat and stuff. Especially when I'm planning on having guests and things like that, to where you do the like. Let me see if I can do it now. I don't know if it'll work right now, but you go to layout and then you do stuff like this, and you choose the different layouts. And when you do that, yeah, it's not gonna do it right now because nobody's up here. Anyways, it will move this thing around and then you can have backgrounds and layouts and things like that. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's moving, but it's probably because nobody else is up here. Let me just focus back on the. There it is. I definitely look up to Mr. John. He has taught me so much. Yeah. Well, I saw that on my Facebook too when you when I had posted the thank you originally to that for the ones you gave me. I saw when he came on there and was like, I knew you could do it. I told you you could do it. You might have to take over for me, things like that. I know a lot about graphics from way back in the day, but it's just been so damn long since I've done it. I could do the whole like bending the text. I used to have like 3,000 different fonts, uh, all kinds of stuff like that back in the day. John and his wife are beautiful people. Yes, they are. John and Dan are just amazing. Like I said, that's even when they're sitting out there just chilling and they're out there for like 3 hours and you would think, oh, you're supposed to be catching fish because we're trying to watch you fish. No, hell no. It's all about the interaction and the comedy and the camaraderie. They are just beautiful, fun people. I sent you 2 more thumbnails a few nights ago. One was for when you went fishing. Yeah, I downloaded that and responded. I thought you should have had a reply in that messenger because I think it says Sunday night fishing or something like that on it. I did download those too, and I thought I responded. Maybe I didn't though. I just my mind. I do so much between work and trying to start this YouTube thing up. But yeah, if I recall right, I thought I responded, and I did download them. It said like Sunday night fishing up there because Sunday night I was out there and it was cold as hell. It was like 42 degrees. I kept getting those short bites, but I did end up getting that one like 12-pound catfish. I'm telling you, that was a 15-pounder. If his belly and tail matched his head, though. I was dying when I watched the replay because I remember being so mad that he was only 12. But when I watched the replay, when I first saw him in the water, I said, oh, yeah, he'll go 12 pounds. So I actually called out what his weight was until I pulled him out of the water and I saw that big ass nugget. I was like, oh, no, this might go 15 pounds. But it's because he was anorexic. So he went back down to 12. The funnier part was I also called his length. I said he'll go 2.5 to 3 feet. He was 32 inches. So I was spot on the length too. What's going on, Duggar? Yes, they are, Jody. Yes, they are. That's why I was so surprised to get that random thumbnail. You know, I know everybody's always, hey John, hey John, hey John, but I know he's going through, so I never have, especially being newer. I'm not gonna come in here and be new and be like, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Nah. I love you for what you do for people, and I love watching your show and enjoying you. I ain't messing with you like that. So to randomly find that in my message was insane. So that's why I picked it tonight. Because I actually had, James's non-fire pit one up there. But once I saw that, I was like, oh, I gotta go ahead and throw that up for some love, for appreciation of him taking the time to do it out of the blue. And James did the same thing to me. I'm sitting there minding my business, and all of a sudden I got 2 thumbnails from James that night. I'm like, holy shit. I love that. Thanks, brother. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check on the kids real quick, get them, make sure they're straight. Talk to my lady for a second. I will be right back down because I kind of came in and set this up and watched 2 Cents for a while, and I'm like, saw that message and all that, woo, but I haven't talked to them since I got home. So I'll be back in a minute. get them off to bed, and then I'll be for whatever the night. All right, they're all good. Because they're both chilling on their electronics, like, leave me alone, Dad. Hey, Lou, what's going on, buddy? Rico 336. That's one of the dudes I really, really, really want to split screen with sometime, just for shits and giggles and having fun. He always has these amazing, beautiful little streams and ponds and stuff that he fishes in. I have a few around here. Like if I can get to Lake Taylorville or Shelbyville Lake and do a split screen with him and one of his little creeks or waterways, I think it'd be a fun time. That's why I'd really like to have eventually more of you on my Facebook down the road. I'd have to make some space because I always keep up and down there from that 5,000 mark. But I'd love to have a lot of you fishing folks on the Facebook eventually so we can have quicker contact on Messenger or something to try to set some time up to have fun. And I'm talking full on like multi-species. It ain't always got to be catfish. I'm a catfisherman at heart, but I'm a multi-species guy too. A lot of fun sitting there catching trout, crappie, and bluegill too. Oh yeah, local. Uh, I'm trying to think of what is my Facebook. You know what? I'm probably gonna look like a stupid goon. I might even turn my head sideways, but I'm gonna try to find my actual Facebook link and post it. And that way, if anybody doesn't have me, they can add me on Facebook. Just I only have one thing. If you do send me a Facebook request, like messenger me also and say it's you. That way, because there's so many damn stupid bots over there that I normally don't add anybody or accept. I guess I shouldn't say add because I add people, but I don't accept people usually over there. So if you do add me on Facebook, just send me the little messenger and say, "Hey, I sent you a friend request. This is so and so over on YouTube." But let me go find it. I'll probably look like a goon while I am because my phone's sideways. Let's see here. Facebook is up here. Oh, there it goes. It's flipping back and forth. I gotta click my icon. It gets me to my page. Let me click this. Yeah, here's where it gets weird. I gotta like, there it is. Copy link. All right, swipe that away. Come back to Chrome. Boom, I'm back in here. All right, more. Post comment. Hold it down to paste. All right, this link that is coming through, this is not my Facebook page that I created for fishing. This is literally my personal Facebook. This is where, like, maybe we could interact on Messenger or something for quicker hookups and stuff. So there it is. If you send me a friend request on that, just be sure to also send me a messenger and say, especially if your name is different. I know some people have the same name on Facebook, but some people don't. So if it does not match your page exactly on YouTube, please send me a messenger as well that says, hey, this is so and so over on YouTube, and I sent you a friend request. That'll be your best way to get in there. And then also, if anybody ever wants my text, oh, speaking of this, let me throw my email up here. If anybody wants my direct text phone message, I'll give it to you. I don't care. But you have to email me to get that, or Facebook Messenger me to get that. So let me go ahead and put my uh, email up here as well again. All right, there we go. Because I was like, even Carmel emailed me last night and asked me for the link to the camera that I showcased in one of my lives. So I emailed her back, or him. I don't know. Carmel, you never know technically what that name is, but I'm honestly, I know I'm new around here, but I'm full heartedly and full thoroughly into this. I really thoroughly enjoyed anybody I met, and even though I was always a hermit, I am down to text you, Facebook you, phone call, or not call. I don't like phones that much. Text for sure, messenger for sure, things like that. And even though I seem to talk a lot while I'm here, you guys have opened me up to that, but I'm not a phone guy. On under Dave Thomas on Facebook. All right. Let's see what that says. John Parker coming in. All right. I'll be right back. I gotta go see what John said. I just got a notification that said he commented. Like, you definitely deserve a friend. John is in the. Yes. Yes, he is, James. Uh, better than one. You may just want to make while I could. Man, you guys, that's awesome. Swipe that away. I hate trying to do this while I'm trying to do YouTube too, but oh, now get a new tripod so this phone will stop falling. Hello, hello. Good evening, Lisa Lee. Thanks for hopping in. Just in here shooting a breeze. And I had to give shouts out to John Parker. Just once again, I was just over on Facebook looking at the messages. It was just amazing. Just that was one of those things you don't expect, and you know, when it all of a sudden randomly pops in, it's like, wow. Especially, when he's going through what he's going through to take the time to give me a gift of a thumbnail. Dumped on us right under, what do you say? Dumped on us right under our what? Under our hat holders. Yeah. It almost fell, but I caught it. Speaking of which, let me hold my phone and copy my link just in case anybody asks for it tonight for the split screen stuff. Guest invite copy. All right, there we go. Just in case. Oh, speaking of which, Jody, have you seen Charlie Brown yet today at all or not? He asked for you to come up on the feed last night, and as soon as you did, he was gone. He never came back. I never seen him after that. I sat here until about 4:30 in the morning before I finally got the sleepy eyes and was like, I gotta go to bed. I got about 3.5 hours sleep before I went to work today. I was zonked, but yeah, he never came back. I never saw him in chat, and I never saw him anywhere else before I went to bed. He seems to run away from you. He should leave with the 11 hearts for everybody. I know I wake up and heard my name on the TV, and I'm like, what the crap? Right. And then you came up here. And as a matter of fact, if you remember, it was funny. He was like, where's Jody? And I go, oh, here she is. Be careful what you ask for. And then all of a sudden he disappears. Black screen. Done. Frozen. Never to be heard from again. He's running from Jody. If you missed it, Rico, this is what happened last night. I'll shit you not. After the little fishing fun that we had out on the lakes, which kind of sucked for Jody and Miss Kennedy, neither one of them ended up, really actually getting a fish. Jody had to go back to the dock and just kind of chill out there, and she kept her show live at least, because some people might be like, well, if I can't fish, I'm going to end it. So no, I appreciate the fact that the show went on. She stayed there the whole time. Miss Kennedy couldn't fish from the beginning. They let us know in the beginning, or she let us know in the beginning, like, oh, I can't come out there. Melissa Kennedy. And then Curtis Catfish won the night. He caught 2 flatheads, totaling like 38 point something points. They were both small, but they're 3 points. So he got like 38 point something points. Jeremy Tournament Cats, aka our Charlie Brown, did catch a nice blue. He caught the biggest fish of the night, but it was like 8 pounds. But biggest fish of the night, but it was only a blue, so it's 1 point each. He lost his phone. That sucked. He lost the phone in the river. He dropped his Compex light in the water twice, but it recovered because it's waterproof. So he had a rough night out there. But anyways, I came home. I throw up my live feed like, hey, if anybody's out there, because I saw no lives. So I titled it, There's No Lives? Well, let's fix that. And I went live. Had some chatters come in, and then Jeremy came in, asked for the link, so I dropped it. He came up. He's chit-chatting for a while. Boo, 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 boo. All of a sudden, he's like, hey, where's Jody? Jody all of a sudden pops up in my background there and says, here I am. So I put her up. I said, be careful what you ask for, Jeremy. Here she comes. He literally died off the screen within 2 minutes of her being up there. I was like, what the fuck? And he never came back. Even after Jody went to bed. You would think, oh, he might miraculously come up. So I'm kind of worried, like, what the fuck happened? He blacked out on the screen. He was gone. And we never heard from him for the rest of the night. Yeah, he did win last night, fair and square. It was 2 flatheads. And yes, some people had weather problems or whatever else, but that happens in fishing. So You go out there in a tournament on the water, it doesn't matter what's going on. Whoever brings in the fish brings in the fish. He did a good job last night. He caught 2 fish, and the amazing part was, they were both in a row. Like, the funny part was he goes, "Let me get this bait back in the water," and he throws it back out in the water, and bam, caught another fish right away. What's going on, Willow? Oh, yes, Curtis was dancing out there on them rods. He was like he was, like, dancing on his rods. And the other funny part was Charlie Brown did a stupid little goofy dance, and he caught his 1 catfish right after that dance too. So, last night, the dancing people won. Maybe Bex from No Reel is on to something. But, yes, Curtis's dance was legit. It was funny as hell. That was actually a victory dance because it was after he caught the fish. I'm a dancing queen. Oh my god, that song used to crack me up because sometimes I'll be real lit at the bar. Well, I guess I can't call it a bar. I always went to clubs. I didn't go to bars that much. I went to clubs. But there was times where I'd be the only motherfucker out there dancing. So all of a sudden the DJ would be a smart ass and put on I'm a dancing queen. But it was funny because after that, sometimes more people will come up there and get to dancing. They'd be like, look at this fool up there dancing by herself. And they get up there, next thing you know, we got 30 people dancing. So I got that party started. Yeah, Curtis is awesome. He is. Uh, so is Cowboy. I love Cowboy. He's newer to this too. He's an old school man, but I'll tell you, I think he's got some of the best lighting and setup and angle for being new to this than anybody I've seen just trying to walk in and start it up. Cowboy Curtis supports everybody. He's always out there throwing up the love and the thumbs and the support and the view hours. But then when I watched his first live, I'm like, dang, he got this down to a T already. And he did it for 12 hours. Can you name one other person that did 12 hours for their first live and it actually looked decent? Like it was all good to go. It sure in the hell wasn't me. My first live, I couldn't even see y'all. And then yeah, Catfish and Curtis is awesome. Jim was funny as shit too from the Blue Line. Jim was funny as hell. That was a great show last night, having the amazing 2 stands up there and Jim up there running the show and keeping it going and maintaining things, and then the moderators making sure chat was straight, and then the amazing viewership. You had over 100 thumbs. There was multiple times where there was like 80 people in there. That was a great show last night, Jody. That's why I'm even more sad that you couldn't be out there doing your thing. Like that kind of hurt that you wasn't involved as much on such a great night. That sucked. But it happens. We still got 4 more weeks. You'll get back out there. I'm just laughing because last night I thought it was going to get colder than it was. So I actually brought my little Jason Voorhees thermal onesie zip up type thing. I didn't end up needing it, but as cold as it felt, I did throw it in the car. But all I had to wear was my jacket last night. Yeah, that wind was blowing in on you like crazy. Couldn't fish, couldn't talk smack. That's what sucked. Like it's like what a great freaking show. Like overall, as far as viewership and activity and host, and it's the one time you've been sidelined for this whole thing so far. And then same thing with Miss Kennedy not being able to get out there. That sucked. I feel like I'm too close to this thing, but it's because if I want to grab it and scroll it, I gotta be close. But yeah, it was still a great time, and I enjoyed myself. I'm still just laughing at even my adventure rod kept bending over. Uh, there was 2 times where my right side Uncle Lou rod actually got snatched off the cooler. Um, there was a few other times where my ugly stick rod went ripping drag wise, but nothing ever hooked up. I kept myself on mute most of the time, especially because of the wind that was coming through, because of the cars that constantly passed behind me. When we did the Paula Smith thing, like give a moment of silence to pray for Paula, things like that. So most of the show I was on mute, just avoid the extra, noise and stuff. Well, we all do, Jody. I don't think there's nobody that think you ain't awesome. You do your thing with the fish, where you're catching the big ones, you're putting up the fish, so we know you fish. We know you take it serious. So you're a fisher. But then on top of that, you got that personality. You're friendly. There ain't nothing that you could think negative. Jody's fucking awesome. Period. From fishing to being a friend. All right, Rez, have a good one. You too. Stay safe. Have a great night. Yes, she is, Lisa. And I mean, I'll keep it real. Y'all know me. I'll be out here just like, man, fuck this, fuck that, if I need to be. But so if I see something I think is bullshit, I'm gonna call bullshit. But I'm also going to show appreciation and whatever for the people that I think is straight. And Jody has been a great friend. She allowed me to come into this thing and even said, "Hey, you got a guaranteed spot if you want the whole time since you're coming to help me out." That's why I offered up a spot last night, Jody. When I said if you do need a spot for somebody to be fresh blood and a fresh body of water or something, or say maybe like you're fully packed, but yeah, Miss Kenny's like, oh, I can definitely get out tonight. I'd give up my spot for her, just because he deserves it, and I don't have to be there, if somebody else can come up. I want to be there the entire time, even if I skunked every damn night, but I just appreciate you being a great friend and saying, you know what, I'll guarantee you if you want to be here all 7 weeks, you can be. But if something does come up, just messenger me, You know what I'm talking about. If something happens to where you're like, hey, I'd like to really give this spot to no, I mean it, Jody. I mean it. I would love to be on every single one, but I mean it. If something happens, I mean, all right, for fuck's sake, let's just say something like Tim says, hey, I want one of those spots. Yeah, give him my spot. I'm not saying that about. I'm just saying, like, if you feel that somebody is coming up that you would like to have on there, but you're like, well, hell, everybody's new this week except for Mike, then you can let them have my spot. Just give me a heads up ahead of time so I know. But yeah, I'd prefer to keep going, even though it's cold as hell out here and whatever. I'm gonna try this year. I'm just gonna try to. You would give him Jim a spot. Yeah, that's because Jim uses bacon. Jim uses bacon and Tim uses like whole carp or puppy head carp. That's funny. But yeah, no, I'm just saying, if the occasion arises, and I mean that's just me. So Jim is the bacon guy. Yeah, he was the one who used the bacon wrap chicken. Allegedly. I ain't gonna lie, I did do that as a kid, and I caught some 20-pounders on bacon. So I ain't gonna lie, when I was a kid, pulling in a 20-pounder on a freaking Zebco underneath a bridge on a half a strip of bacon, that was killer. But I'm a grown ass man now. That bacon going in my belly. Now I could see using bacon grease. Like, I'm tempted. I might do that one night. I might just cook me up a bunch of bacon, eat all the bacon, but I'll have that cast iron skillet sitting there with a bunch of bacon grease in it. Maybe just soaking some chicken in the bacon grease, and then bringing that chicken out. Forget the strawberry jello. Soak that chicken in some bacon grease. All right, I'll be right back. Yeah, we don't need bacon wrapped chicken. We need bacon grease soaked chicken. And I will tell you the one funny thing about last night that I've never tried in my life, but I had those steak trimmings from work from when I cut up the steak for salads and stuff. I have a lot of that trimming left over that we can't use, but it is bloody and it is fatty and it is greasy. Um, it actually was getting tore up last night. I had like 10 hits on little pieces of steak. I only brought the steak to be funny to give a little tribute to Dan, because I know Dan from Danimals Creations has talked about using steak out there. I brought the worms for Jim because he told me next week everybody better bring worms. So that's when I put on the. What was really funny about that too was when he was mentioning, "Hey, you got 1 hour left. You guys better be tying on worms." I literally had just tied on those 6 worms. That's why I brought my hook up. Like, "Hey, there you go, Jim. I got the worms." I was literally just putting on that worm ball when he said that. But then so the worms were for Jim. The steak was for Danimals Creations, and the adventure rod was for Valerie. And every single one of them were getting pounded. My rods kept going over, but it just never. They never committed and like got hooked up. It was still fun as shit though. I'm cooking some bacon in the skillet later this morning. Save that grease, man. Dip some chicken in that grease. I'm telling you, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cook me a bunch of bacon and then like just soak some grease, or some chicken in the grease. I'm probably gonna even put a baggie. I'll put the raw chicken in the grease after it cools off, and then put it in a baggie, and then take that out fishing. Bacon grease soaked chicken. Forget the Kool-Aid. I ain't never done that yet, by the way. That whole strawberry, star anise, things like that. I've never tried it. Garlic, all that crap. I'll just take chicken because I'm going to these challenges. I'm leaving straight from work. Y'all look at me. I'm in a chef coat. Look, see, I even got my markers. I'm a chef. I run the kitchen. Well, I mean, not technically run the kitchen, but I kind of do. I don't technically have the title, but yeah, I'm the one wearing the chef coat. I got the markers. I kind of try to maintain and run the line, but that's just me. Not technically the title. But anyways, I'm leaving straight from work, so instead of making myself food and cooking myself food, I just grab a couple chicken breasts and run out to the lake on Thursday. This time I had a little bit of that trimming from the steak and brought that with me too. I'll have Will share. You know, what did I miss there? I'll have Will share. Who's sharing? Somebody sharing bacon? I want some bacon. That's not so. You don't like bacon. Who don't like bacon? Come on, man. There's only one thing that tastes like bacon, and that's bacon. Anyway, so yeah, I've been leaving straight from work to go out there, so I'm just taking like a little meat out of the thing that I normally would cook for myself to have dinner or something. Instead, I'm like, oh, let me take it out there for bait. So I grabbed some chicken. This time, like I said, I took some of that steak trim, and it was cracking me up. I had myself on mute most of the time, but I kept going down there and checking because I kept getting those bites on steak, chicken, and worms, but nothing committed. Lisa wins again. Bacon, bacon, bacon. I would tell you one thing that I was surprised that I don't know. It almost reminds me of sizzling as a kid, I guess. But I've actually gotten to the point where I like turkey bacon too. It's 3 times cheaper, but it's still almost not fully. Trust me, I'd rather have bacon, but I mean $7 a pound for bacon. That's crazy, especially because I can eat 10 pounds of it. But turkey bacon, uh, actually crisp up nicely and whatever else. It's just a little leaner. Not quite the same, but it works. But it's just the fact that it's so much cheaper. I can get 3 times the bacon, and it's not so terrible that I don't enjoy it. Yes, it is, Lisa. She said bacon is a food group all of its own. I don't think I've ever seen her fish a brush pile yet, but I bet she does because she's a flathead fisher. But that's a question for her to answer. If you didn't see it, Jody, Rico's asking if you fish brush piles. That's all I eat is turkey bacon. Huh. Yeah, it's not bad. I prefer the real deal, but just money wise, I'm like, dude, I can get. Hey, Melissa in the house. Took a nap, we're back, making a cup of coffee. All right, man. But anyways, yeah, that whole turkey bacon thing, I do the same thing with the ground turkey too. If I'm making like some tacos or spaghetti or whatever, where I'm adding so many other flavors that I can mask the fact that it's turkey instead of hamburger, I actually enjoy it. Like you can't tell the difference. Hey, Carmel. I can't taste the difference between turkey and burger or turkey bacon or regular bacon if I'm adding it to recipes. Do I want the real deal? Yes. But when it comes to cost, you look at your bank account and you're like, well, I got $9. Can I get 1 pound of bacon or can I get 3 pounds of bacon? Well, I'm going to go through for 3 pounds of bacon, and that's the turkey bacon. What's going on, Jacob? Hello, hello. Thanks for dropping in. And like I said, especially if you're like cooking with it or using it in different recipes or something, like if I'm making spaghetti, would I rather have hamburger? Yes. But can I substitute turkey and not even notice the difference? Yes. You just, as long as your recipe is good enough and your flavors are on point, you have just enough salt, fat, acid, heat, things like that to mix up that recipe. A little sugar maybe if you want some sweetness in your spaghetti sauce. little mushrooms for earthiness, things like that. It will mask the fact that it's not the normal meat that you think it should be. Sorry, I gotta scroll back here. What do we got there? I saw Jody post a paragraph. You just can't see it because it's dark. I saw a fish over underwater bridges. Yeah, those are good too. Those underwater structures, especially like behind a dam. What I really like is some of those areas where there's been a bridge or a dam that's been like knocked down or blown up, and to build a new one, that creates so much structure back there behind the new flowing water. So you still have that new flowing dam or creek or whatever going back there, but it's flowing over the old blown up or tore down structure. So there's like so much structure there. The only thing that sucks is you'll get a lot more snags unless you figure out where exactly to throw or how much weight to exactly use or whatever else. Takes a minute to learn each new spot, but when you have a structure that's been torn down to build a new structure, it's usually an amazing spot. At least, where I've been. Not much octopus in the desert. I don't think I've ever had octopus, but I do like calamari in different forms. I can't do that raw calamari bullshit, but if you get a lightly tempura batter with like some sweet Asian chili sauce or something like that, or lightly sauteed in a pasta, it's pretty good. That's calamari, that's squid. I don't think I've ever had octopus. The people I'm buying my house from live in Arizona. I like calamari if it's not like rubber. Well, yeah, that's overcooked. That's basically like almost any seafood if you think about it. Scallops, shrimp, calamari, mussels, clams, a lot of that stuff. It's rubbery if it's overcooked. And it don't take long to cook it. You can literally throw it in a flat skillet and like within 8 to 15 seconds it's cooked. Except for scallops, if you got the real nice big scallops, you want to sear them on each side. Biggest flathead I've caught was a 4 pound on a night crawler. Flathead, even at a small flatheads are nice, but yeah, that is a small one there, or a small one there, and on a night crawler. Uh, I've actually caught some that were fairly decent on a night crawler. I think they were probably just cruising the bottom looking for something and accidentally hit my night crawler, but I've caught some that are within that 12 to 15 pound range on a night crawler. Reno, Vegas, y'all close to each other. Jody says, I'm not a professional catfish angler like John, but I can help you get started, Rico. Yeah, you got a lot more of them up there than I do, Jody. I mean, we do have them here, and I've caught quite a few big ones, but they're sparse. I'd say I honestly catch maybe, if I'm lucky, only like 3 to 5 flatheads a year. And they're usually the smaller ones, like Rico was saying, but occasionally I'll catch like two between 20 and 30 pound range. But yeah, generally around here it's mainly channels and blues, but the flatheads are there. And if I went back to the river that I used to fish when I was younger, I'd catch more, but that costs money and I'm still working right now. Once I retire, I might do more traveling like that down the road where I'm semi-retired, work like 3 days a week, just make me a few $100 a week after the house is paid off so I can go venture out there. I might get back to some of the rivers I grew up in or find some other lakes around here to have fun in, or maybe start traveling and meet some of y'all to have fun with. That'd be great. But yeah, that'd be like a couple years down the road. We gotta finish paying for this house first. 2024. It's ours. Let me see. June. Sorry, I had to calculate the months. June of 2024. So about 2.5 years, we will own this place, and that's when I might start getting to have more fun. So it seems like Willow and Lisa Lee are kind of close to each other a little bit. Vegas and Reno. Rico says you can be as Yoda. Does that make you Mark Hamill? Luke Skywalker. I'm gonna lie, that would be a dream of mine, probably to fish with Jody, because I know where she's at. And she's at like people I've been watching for years. Watts Bar up there in the Tennessee and stuff like that. Oh my goodness. If I could be like, hey, I'm fishing with Pontoon Jody, that'd be the shit. Like live on the boat, not split screen. Jody should start a guide service. She's proven more and more how she can get on the fish. Jody's guide service. You're on one end of Nevada and she's on the other. Nevada's like one of those crazy ones. It's like one of those big states, but not many things in it. You got like Reno, you got Vegas. Yeah, is there really much else worth mentioning? I don't know. Sierra Nevada, maybe. I don't know. Seems like one of those big wide open states that don't really have too much to go to, except it's got some of the most amazing place to go to. Like it's a double-edged sword. Not much to go to, but the places you can go to are freaking like world destinations. Well, Jody, you might not be fully understanding the whole aspect of guide service. You can still fish too. You're like, here's your rods, here's mine. Yes, I'm gonna put you on some fish, but I'm also gonna be catching my fish because you got to make your side videos while you're guiding. Technically, you put a camera over here on your rods, and then you also put a camera on their rods, and you make a video of them catching so that you can promote yourself guiding. But you also have your video over when you're catching fish, so that later on you can chop up your video about you catching fish. And the more videos you put out there with you catching fish, the more people who are going to trust coming to pay you to be a guide. Do you get that? Welcome back, Melissa. But anyway, so if you can mix a video where it shows you catching a bunch and people you're taking out catching a bunch, people are gonna be like, "Well, shit, I gotta pay for that service." She's putting these people on fish, and she's still catching fish, and that just builds from there. But yes, technically, as a guide, you do want to put your client on more fish and bigger fish and whatever, but you got to do something in the background for that B roll to keep promoting your shit too. Almost 1 a.m. again. Let's say Friday. I think I work at 11 a.m. I can't recall. I'll have to check that before I go to bed. Have you ever considered using a fluid when fishing? Carmel's got a question for there, Jody. Says, Jody, have you ever considered using a float with a live bait about 3 feet off the bottom? That's probably a deep ass float then. What's the purpose of the float? You might as well be suspending. Anyways, 3 feet off the bottom when fishing slow to no current. Need to highlight just case. He said they sure some clean sinkers. He said they sure are some clean sinkers, Mike's. Oh, so Hogleg got his too then. Yeah, they were. I was surprised. Those sinkers were clean as shit, considering. Because I've got a big pack of them. Like right now, I technically didn't even need sinkers, but because I came into that chunk of change from the government, I decided to support the community. That's why I got the lure rods, and that's why I got the uh, Brad sinkers and stuff. I was surprised. There was not a lot of dust on them. Cause I'm not kidding. I've bought a big pack of sinkers from the like big box store chain, whatever people through Amazon. And I probably got ripped off about $3 shipping because of the sinker dust, like lead dust that dropped out of the box. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can pick that all up, pack it up, put it in a compressor, and make 2 more sinkers out of it. Uh, those Brad sinkers, I don't know if he polishes them extra before he sends them out or what, but I did not have hardly any dust in that 15-pound box that I bought from him. All right, Karma, she's answering the question here. Yes, Karma, I don't have any. The reason you would use those. Whoops. That's coming again. Like is to cast over on top of structure because sometimes I think the fish get boat shy. Yeah, I can see that. Fish get boat shy. I need some of those Patriot floats. Well, my own thing was the whole like using a float but only being 3 feet off the bottom. That just seems like you're actually suspending, but I don't know. Depends on how deep the water is, I guess. I do want some of those Patriot James floats too eventually. They look nice. They got that nice glow in the dark light and yada yada yada. But they almost look like mine, what I already have. I just haven't used them yet, but I've created them. I took a pool noodle and I chopped it, put a freaking little pipe through it and stuff, and yeah, I could technically tie one of those on, put a little weight down there and all that jazz, but I don't have any kind of lighting effect for it. So, plus to support the community members, I will eventually get me some of those Patriot James. They look awesome. When a bait is suspended, it is basically stuck in one place under a float. You can't let it roam around. Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have a float, if all right, here's what I get. You got a rod holder on a boat, and you go like this, and you go, and you drop it all the way to the bottom. It hits the bottom. You reel down, you pull it up, and you lock it into place. That's almost like putting it on a bobber because it's not on bottom. It's not thrown out there to where it's sitting on bottom. It's lifted up. So that means you technically just created a real deep bobber situation where it's off the bottom. And that's what you call suspended because it's not on the bottom. So you're not dragging or bumping. So that just, to me, seems like a bobber situation almost. You're anchored up, you're suspended, you're off the bottom. That seems like a deep bobber rig without a bobber, though. I could be wrong because I'm not from that area. I don't fully understand the terms, but in my opinion, if you're suspended off the bottom, that's what a float is, technically. If you use a float, you're floating it. Well, that's suspending it off the bottom. But like I said, you guys got a whole different body of water and whole different terms and stuff than just me sitting on the bank. But in my opinion, if you're suspending your rod up off the bottom, that would be the floating situation. But usually a float is shallower. Like if you throw a float out, you're usually looking for the fish that are coming up to feed on the top of the water. So you might only be like 3 feet under the surface instead of 3 feet off of the bottom. You have to be on top of the structure to suspend. If you cast off, normally either you catch a fish or lose the rig. All right. Under a float, go may swim 30 yards. Well, probably depends on the current too, though, and the size of the bait. Because if a bluegill's trying to swim this way, but the current is stronger this way, it might not swim nowhere. Or if you're out there on the boat and you got those planer boards and things like that, it's gonna spread out this way. Yeah. Especially with those planers. I don't know shit about those because I'm a bank fisherman, but I've watched plenty of those planer boards on the back of the boats, and it shows how they spread out and cover more water too. They usually like throw a planer to the left, a planer to the right, and then drag a few off the back. What's up, 3B? But I mean, I'm a bank fisherman. Probably will be my whole life. I would love to eventually get a little kayak or a little john boat or something to get out there in my local area, but generally speaking, I will probably be a bank fisherman my whole life. I still have fun, get out there, do my thing, enjoy the fishing, enjoy the just let my mind go, not thinking about what's going on in life. If I had a rough day at work, it leaves as soon as I hit that water because I think that next big one's gonna be there. And if it ain't, I still had a good time. There's just nothing better in my mind. I mean, for some people who like hunt and fish and stuff, it probably correlates the same. Like there's nothing better to them than hunting or fishing, but I'm not a hunter. I'm just a fisherman. There is nothing better in life than friends, family, and fishing. They're equal. You got your friends, you got your family, and you got fishing. That's it in my life, in my world. Float tube. Actually, that's funny that you mentioned like the little kayak slash float tube, whatever your last couple comments was there, Rico. My lady did buy on Amazon a couple little float tube kayak things for them to go out and have fun in a inflatable rubber kayak for fun, like out there swimming, chilling out on the water. And I wanted to borrow one night, and I'm like, no, there's no way I can do that. If I did that, I'd want to go to the spots where I know I can catch big old catfish. The minute I bring it up to the kayak, it's gonna poke that kayak, and I'm gonna fucking drown. So I can't do that inflatable fun kayak stuff. They do it just for fun, like getting out there and kayaking on the water, and they're rowing and having fun. I can't fish off of that. It would get poked, and if I didn't have a life vest on, it wouldn't be good. But yeah, they bought that last year, and they actually went out. Oh, I don't know, about 5 or 6 times this season, and had a blast on the water in their little inflatable kayaks. I just think I'd want like some kind of John boat type situation or something. I don't know if I'd be comfortable in a little kayak. It'd be nice because you could probably launch it from a lot more places and stuff, but eh, I think I'd rather have a little more room. My preference would be a pontoon, but I don't think I'd ever be able to afford one of those. So some kind of little John boat or a bass boat or something that that smaller, streamlined little boat. You got enough room to get your stuff in. You got enough room to move around in. Not too expensive. Steve Adams in the house. What's going on, Adams? Oh, Jody's actually giving you a little message there. He says he may, it's not guaranteed, but he says he may have to pass this Thursday. Possibly some weather rolling in. I'm gonna leave that on the screen for a minute. Just see make sure she sees it. I'll be right back. God dang it. No, seeing a response to that. Are you still out there, Jody? Did you hear what he was saying? Sorry if you. Oh, there she is. All right. I'm just hoping I don't get rained on no more. I don't mind. I mean, I hate cold weather, but I don't mind it as much as actually like getting rained on in cold weather. That second week we were out there, I had to hold the umbrella all night long because I kept getting rained on. My shoes were wet for like the next 2 days at work, and it sucked. Jeremy got sick again from last night. What did you get? Like some kind of like flu or something, or like what kind of sick? He was up here chit chatting until he disappeared once you came up. Is that what happened? He went and threw up and got sick and feeling under the weather, or what? Did you finally get a message from him or something? That just sucked that he lost his phone. I know how that feels. When my chair blew in the water off the dock and my phone was in there, I'm like, ah! But I was fighting a fist when it happened, and I was just like, fuck that chair. But then I realized, oh, your husband, Jerry. God dang it. I thought you said Jeremy. Jerry. I see you with the caps. Thank you. I thought you said Jeremy. My bad. Uh, but anyways, yeah, my phone freaking is at the bottom of the lake because that chair blew in the water from the wind off that dock. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. And sorry to misunderstand. I thought you said Jeremy at first. Me too, damn near, Steve. When I left, I was like, I'll see y'all later. My knuckles are like my knuckles were real stiff and my fingertips were kind of numb. The weird thing was it was actually warmer last night than it was when I went out Sunday. Sunday when I fished and I caught that 32-inch blue, it was actually 42 degrees. Last night when I was fishing, it was 53. So, we're talking like 10, 11 degrees warmer, but that wind was kicking and it was a hell of a lot colder feeling. I was kind of getting that stiff joints because I'm old and decrepit, and I was getting numb in the fingers. I don't ever get sick, don't catch cold, and don't have allergies. Well, I didn't until recently. Just getting older from being beat up in the business. I mean, Hog Leg, what's up, man? I am 47, but like I say, it's dog years because I've been in the restaurant business for 30 years. So I'm 47, but I've been in the restaurant business for 30 years. So I add dog ears to my life. Ugh. Plus, I drink too much and I smoke too much, so that's not good. But it is what it is. But I'm gonna start doing this generic crap more often because I realized the other night too. Uh, I thought I was straight, but I watched the replay and I'm like, man, near the end, I was just toast. I'm like, I could barely even understand what I was saying myself. So I'm sure chat wasn't too comprehensive. Brian B. So I'll stick more to this generic crap again. I'm getting old enough. I think I need to start leaving some of my I want to get lit up and just be trashed in the past. Yeah, it did. That sucked. For Jody and Melissa Kennedy didn't even get to come up. She messengered soon, kind of right off the bat, like, hey, I can't get out there. It's too crazy. Jody went out there and was like, oh, I can't be out here. It's too crazy. I can't even keep my line in the water. So that sucked. It was windy here too, but at least I got to throw our line out. So yeah, yeah, Steve. That's what happened. Jeremy didn't even know it until after he got home, according to what he was saying when he was up there before she came on panel. He's like, where's Jody? She came up and disappeared. But when we mentioned it and I mentioned it and some of the chat people mentioned it, and he's like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'm assuming if Brian's in here because he was over there. I was watching a bunch of it. That's why I actually changed my live time. I was gonna go live earlier, but I noticed they were still live, so I changed it. Gave it like an extra half hour time, but because that's usually what I do. I try to look and see who's doing what, and I don't want to go live even for the late nights if other people are doing stuff. But once I saw that thumbnail and I had a few messengers asking about it, I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess I will. But I changed the time because I went back in there, saw they were still kicking it. I'm like, all right, let me go a little bit later. But it sucked because it was still so windy that you couldn't hardly like interact either. I felt bad for you last night. You, like I said, you and Melissa, that kind of sucked because it was such a great show. Over 100 thumbs, a whole bunch of people getting new subs and whatever. Like it was a great show. Catfish Curtis rocking it out with a couple flatheads. Charlie Brown did catch a fish. The rest of a skunk, but overall, great show. You got two stands, Brian B. and Jim up there flowing the chat and the hosting. It was a great freaking show. But a couple people who really, really, really should have been out there doing their thing didn't get to because of the damn weather. Yeah, that just shows that it is kind of a pattern or whatever. Like it's just the beginning of the fall, the full fall weather kicking in and stuff. So it's probably a shock to the fish. I mean, like I said, here just freaking a week and a half ago, it was like 90 degrees. Now it's in the 40s. That's a major freaking change. That probably affects the fish. I would think so. So, and it seems to be a pattern across the whole country. Like people are like, yeah, these bites are short, whatever. Yeah, some places catch them. I mean, you got the great rivers, like James, Illinois, Ohio, Potomac, whatever. Those big river bodies, yeah, they're still probably going to produce without much much difference. But when it comes to fishing off the bank in a pond or a lake or even some of those rivers, but you're on the bank, it's gonna be a little different. Seems to be pretty consistent across the country right now, though. That you're getting a lot of bites, but you're not getting that like commit where they're just hammering it and running with it in general. Anyways, just in case, I don't expect whatever, but I haven't done this yet tonight, so just in case somebody wants to come up, I'll go ahead and put it out there. Uh, Obviously, y'all know the routine, but now if it ain't you, I ain't bringing you up. But just in case there's that, I had 15 or so towboats come by me at 100 yards, drove me nuts. Oh yeah, when them boats are going back and forth, that sucks. Unless you're in the river and it's a barge, because then you get that barge bite. That is one weird thing I noticed when I was in Illinois River. I ain't gonna lie. Every time I seen a barge starting to come down, I kind of got happy because I'm like, man, this usually creates that commotion and those fish come off because I'm on the bank. And so I might not be able to sit out there on the fish. But when those barges would go by, it seemed like it caused a commotion to where the fish would come up out of those holes and bam, there was my bait waiting for him. I would get the barge bite from the bank because it seemed like every time one of them big boys would go by, I'd get like a solid half hour to 40 minutes where I started just getting a lot of activity. I had 15. Yeah, I read that one. Just the way that the wind was blowing. The way the wind was blowing, it would have been hard. Yeah, exactly. Weather will be a factor until spring. I don't think it'll be a factor all the way till spring. What's the rest of that? Most had harsher winter. Although I don't know. I guess it depends how the winter does come in. I don't think weather will be a factor all the way till spring. But I don't normally fish the cold weather, so I'm not for sure. But just watching a few videos recently about the cold weather, it seems like once that cold weather settles in, it gets into a like stable pattern to where it's not swinging 30 to 50 degrees between the day and night. It seems like most people say that's a good time for fishing. But who knows? I'll figure it out this year. It's the first time I'm ever gonna be cold. I'm normally not even out there now. October, I'm done before October usually. So this is a first for me. I have caught one decent one. I caught a 32-inch blue in October. I normally don't fish October, so I'm happy about that. I had fun that night. I will continue to have fun. And I am going to literally try to fish this entire winter if I can, all the way back into the spring, just as a first. What I really can't wait for is once I do get back around to the spring season and stuff like that, and then getting back to my little fun pond that has the big trout and big crappie, and getting back to Shelbyville Lake, Shelbyville Spillway, um, Lake Taylorville and Lake Taylorville Spillway, stuff like that. Those are just such fun spots. I can't wait to get back there and show some of those too. I'm thinking about going ice fishing on the Flint River. Oh, here it comes again with that Altamaha. I had heard of the Flint River before. I'd never heard of the Altamaha. Uh, we don't have ice fishing around here though. Like they won't allow you to. But I'm kind of laughing because when I did see Tim and Sean's old school video fishing on my lake in Lake Springfield, if you guys haven't seen it yet, Tim and Sean had that boat video where they were out on a boat, and it's called something like the Warm Power Plant or whatever the heck. It's something about power plants. And somebody had mentioned that they had did a video on my lake, and I didn't believe it. I'm like, oh come on now, you talk about Tim, Epic Catfish, and Sean on my freaking lake. So, anyways, I backtrack and I actually watched it, and it was my lake. I know exactly where they were fishing in the couple spots that they fished. One of them was the little it's a bridge that goes like this. It's got little loops all the way across the water. It's kind of like you drive across it. It's down past Henson Robinson Zoo. It's down towards the old beach. I know exactly where it's at. Um, so anyways, they were fishing there, they caught some there, and then they went over here and they went over there. And actually last night where I was fishing was only about 300 yards probably away from where they were fishing, uh off the boat down by the dam. I didn't go that far, I just got lazy and was like, I'm not going all the way down there. I'm just gonna sit here. I sat in the same spot where I caught the little adventure rod because I didn't feel like walking all the way down those steps to the dam. But when I watched that video, I was so proud and so happy that they had such a great fun time out there. They caught a lot of nice catfish, and it's literally my lake, and I knew every single spot they were fishing at. I'm like, shit, I know that bridge. Oh shit, I know those stairs and that power plant and that dam. It's my lake, Lake Springfield, where they were fishing. Tons of rain and tornadoes off the hurricanes, about 200 miles north of New Orleans. Swear to God, I'm damn near tempted to hop out of here and see who's still alive. Normally, by this time of night is when this feed picks up, but it says there's only 9 in there. So I'm kind of curious. Did I go too early? Is 2 stands still out there, or did somebody else start doing a pregame show? Is Big Mike out there fishing? Who's out there? I'd rather be watching fishing. I just know when I scrolled, I saw 2 stands had been alive for a while because I even checked in a few times, but I only said 2 other lives, and neither one of them seemed like those big ones. When I looked in, it said like 3 people was watching. So, but I don't like interrupting or trying to compete with somebody else's. So, but it didn't look like nothing was going on except for the stand one. That one was obviously a big one, but I watched a bunch of it. So I was like, all right, let me go hop out here and see what's going on. Didn't see much else, so went live. Hog leg. The Native American says the Altamont river contains monsters like the Loch Ness monster. He says this shit goes way back, all the way back to the Native American. I really need to get me a second device or a second phone. I also just like dawned on me, what time do I work tomorrow? But I can't swipe this away if I know when I work. Uh, 12 Saturday. Probably like 11 or noon. It's usually when I work on Saturdays. Oh, I don't believe it's not, Melissa. I believe it's a true story. Sounds like a lot of the names up in Wisconsin and stuff too. There's a lot of areas up there that everything is all like Indian type, Native American sounding names, like Waukesha County and whatever things like that. It's like, yeah, my my lady's dad lives up in Wisconsin in the Waukesha County area. Melissa says I didn't mean to run Pontoon Jody, and least often there's Pontoon Jody saying, I'm here. And scheming. Who else is out there, Jody? That's what I was asking. Like, I wonder if there's some people that somehow I'm not subscribed to or something, because I know Two Stands was up there. He had been up there for a while. I watched the pregame show a few different times. Uh, then I looked around once I got home, and I'm like, there's only 3 lives. Two of them only had like 3 people in there. So I said, hell with it, I'll go live too. But if there's stuff going on, I'd rather know about it because I'd rather leave and go watch them too and chit chat and have fun. I only went live again because I try to throw up a place when nobody's doing nothing. Yours are DM. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I saw 3. One was big, of course, because it was Two Stands. But he had been live a while, so I'm like, oh, he might be winding down. The other 2 literally only had 3 people watching one and 4 people watching the other. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll throw it up and see if anybody pops in. JBT, Curtis, and Stan. Well, shit. See, yeah. All right, let me end this, and I'm gonna go pop around. If Stan's still alive, I'm gonna pop in there. JBT and Curtis. Yeah, I'll see what Curtis is doing too. JBT, when I looked earlier, it only said 3. So I didn't think it was popping. All right, folks. Mike's fishing home gonna end this one for now. I might come back up again later. What time is it? 1:30? All right. There might still be time afterwards. If not, I will see you next time. Why is Melissa saying No, it's not that you're not good enough. I'm just saying, like, if people are interested in watching other people's feeds, why should I waste your time and get the side chat? Y'all are running me off. I gotta take a nap to about 9 in the morning. Like I'm saying, I appreciate you being here, but like, why should I be up there if there's big things going on? And you know what I'm getting at. Like, I appreciate the love and the sideshow, but if there's big things going on, why should I be a side distraction? So I guess I'm saying I'm not good enough. That's what I'm really saying. I I just knew Stans was up there for a while, and I thought he might be winding down, but I don't know. Maybe he's doing an all-night fishing show. It looked like he was on the water. But as far as it comes to Catfish and Curtis and the other shows, I'd like to peek in. But I swear, if I peek in and see only 3 people watching again, I'll be live again in a fucking hour. But anyways, all right. Yeah, there's only 7 up there. I love you guys, you know I do. But yeah, let me end it for now. Let me hop around and go show some love again, and especially if Two Stands is still rocking out. I want to see what's going on over there. Go check in on Catfish and Curtis. I looked in on JBT's twice before I went live, and it said like 3 once and 4 once. So I was like, okay, not too much going on. All right, I'll see y'all in a little while. Thanks for popping in for the first one. If I don't go live, I'll see you next time I do. Love you guys.